unbeatable. Nothing minutes no score. Every time they wanna clash, the winners kicking through the door. I am unbeatable. Chances running out of stock. Aiming running out the clock. My fail ones never stop. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah.
Well, let's be honest, this time of year is always confusing, knowing what day it is. Well, it's a Thursday, which means it's time to shoot some hoops here on the British Basketball League YouTube channel and across the USA. Tonight is a compelling clash between the Leicester Riders and the Bristol Flyers. These two have only met once this season, and boy, was it sensational. With Leicester coach Rob Paternostro being ejected as the Riders won by 18 points. And since then, they've added Teddy Buckets Allen to their roster, and the Flyers will have to neutralise this threat from a sensational rookie if they're going to get anything from this game. So it's time to double down. Routledge and Clark have this for you.
Thank you very much, Jeanette. Yes, hello and welcome to the Morningside Arena in Leicester. The two teams who finished second and third in the table last season go head-to-head. Leicester had a difficult spell in November, early December, but the arrival of Teddy Allen has seen them claim victories in their last two outings, and with two homes to go to see out 2023, they'll be looking to climb the table. Now, Bristol have had their challenges with injuries and have won just 2 of their last 9 outings, but Keedy Johnson is back tonight to join Tajon Lucas, who returned last week, so they're closer to full fitness, still missing Ollison, but they'll be hoping to get back to their early season form. Well, welcome along, Daniel Routledge and Dan Clark, the former Great Britain captain, with you. And Dan, this is two teams that came into the season with high expectations, haven't quite met those yet, but still a long way to go.
Yeah, Dan, great to be here tonight. I'm expecting a great game tonight, to be honest with you. As you said, two teams that are normally towards the top of the table, not had the best of starts of the season, but there's still a long way to go this year.
And Leicester obviously making those changes. Teddy Allen, what an introduction he's been. They've won a couple of games. They'll be feeling good about themselves.
It is that time of year, Dan, as you said, introductions, changes in teams happen, and Teddy Allen has been a breath of fresh air for the Leicester Riders. He's really made a difference in the 2 games he's played, 2 wins, so I mean they can't ask for much more than that.
Well, they certainly can't, and Bristol trying to get themselves back to full health. Let's have a look at the league standings going into today's games. And, well, the Leicester Riders could go above Bristol if they were to win here tonight, but Bristol will be looking to try and put some space between them and the Riders. Let's have a look at the fixtures for this weekend. 2 games tonight, Newcastle and Plymouth. They're playing twice this weekend. They go tonight and again on Saturday. Tomorrow we've got 2 more games. Caledonia host London in our Sky Sports game. So second hosting first. That's on air from 7:30. Then Cheshire and Manchester in the Northwest Derby also tomorrow night. Leicester back in action against the Sheffield Sharks here on Saturday, and the other one of the Plymouth-Newcastle games. Then on Sunday, Sheffield in the Transpennine Derby, 3 p.m. tip-off for that one on New Year's Eve. And if it's New Year's Day, it must be a Surrey home game. The Scorchers have a great record on the New Year's Day fixture. London Lions in town. Well, we're not far away from the start of the game here in Leicester. They are starting to fill it up, and we will talk more after this break. Welcome back to our coverage of the British Basketball League. Whether you're watching here in the UK or across the United States of America, we're delighted to have you with us. Former Olympian Dan Clark alongside me. And Dan, there's a few guys you wanted to talk about before we get underway, and we can't talk about Leicester at the minute without talking about Teddy Allen.
Yeah, as we said at the top of the show, Dan, fresh air for the Leicester Riders since his arrival. Obviously a great scorer, his name says so, Teddy Buckets. You know, we can expect a lot of points on the ball from him tonight, I think.
And he's been the breath of fresh air, the one guy who's been reliable for Leicester, not just this year, but in previous seasons as well. GB International, Kimball McKenzie.
Yeah, I mean, he is Mr. Reliable for Coach Rob Paternostro. You know, obviously Leicester's gone for a period of changes and a bit of instability at the club, but, you know, he's always the guy that you can rely on, and he will be no different tonight, I think.
Well, whatever the role, he fulfills it. At the other end of the floor, we talked about Allen coming off the bench and filling it up. This guy, Trajan Jacobs, certainly can do that for Bristol.
Yeah, he is Bristol's X factor. You know, he's going to shoot the ball no matter what. Whether he makes it or misses it, a different story, but the day he's on fire and his day he's making shots is the day the Bristol Flyers win a game.
And inside, a former big man yourself, you've been liking the look of Brad Green.
Yeah, I mean, there's been some great inside battles this year with the big men across the league. You know, some great brigs, but Brad Green is right at the top of that list. You know, some impressive numbers so far. It will be interesting to see how he matches up with the Leicester Riders tonight. Leicester a bit smaller, a bit more mobile, and it may cause some problems, but you've got to expect a dominant performance from him tonight.
Well, he certainly will be all over the glass, that's for sure. Rob Paternostro will have that high on his scout report. No doubt about it. Andreas Kapoulis will be hoping his team can shoot the ball well. Let's have a look at the starting fives for today's game. Starting with the Leicester Riders. Well, Teddy Allen, first 2 games off the bench. Today, he's into the starting 5. TJ Lawle making way. And we'll see what Allen does with the starters' minutes now. That'll be fascinating. At the other end of the floor, back into the starting lineup comes Lucas. He was obviously on restricted minutes, having returned from injury last week, but again, he's in the starting lineup. And of course, Raphael Thomas Edwards is a Leicester boy, so he'll be excited to stick it to them on their own floor. And obviously, Keedy Johnson returns off the bench as far as Bristol are concerned. Well, earlier I was able to catch up with both of these coaches to see what they thought ahead of tonight's game. Well, Rob, coming in off the back of a couple of wins, do you feel the team is turning the corner after a tricky period?
I feel like we're playing better basketball. I thought our schedule was really tough during that period. Obviously, you know, we've made a couple additions here that have helped us out, but, you know, I've been happy with the way we've gone about our business. You know, guys have been prepared. They come ready to play, and they're a real good team spirit right now.
It's been a difficult challenge for you, a load of away games, men down. How have you survived through this period of the season?
Well, survive is the right word, right? I mean, it's a game at a time. We knew it was going to be a tough stretch, but I think guys have done great to step up to that challenge, different guys on different games. And certainly you hit it on the nail, a lot of away games, a lot of challenges. But you want that. You want that adversity. That will make us better in the long run.
And obviously Teddy Allen catching the headlines in his first couple of games. How's he acclimatized to life in Leicester?
Great, yeah. He's been great right from the beginning. I think, you know, give him credit for that, but also give the group credit for that. I think the group really has been great and accommodating to him, both on and off the court. And, you know, we got a great bunch of guys here, so it's an easy team to come and play with, and he's done a great job, no doubt.
Another away game for you here today. Obviously, Leicester look very different now with Teddy Allen in the lineup.
Well, he makes a big difference. But having said that, other guys like McKenzie, Holmes, those guys are playing well. And certainly Allen is a problem.
And Bristol have had their injury problems of recent weeks and a difficult schedule. But they seem to be coming back to health just in time to play you guys.
They are? Oh, cool. Yeah, no, they... playing in Europe, you know, we've done it before, and I think it's pretty much a guarantee when you play all those games, you're going to battle injuries, and they have. You know, when you look at their losses, they've been missing a lot of players. So they're a talented team that I think once they get healthy will be as tough to beat as anyone.
They can put the ball in the basket, so defensively you'll have to be at your best.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we got to make sure we contain them in transition. We've got to be smart, you know. We've got to make sure we don't get them to the foul line, got to stay solid, we've got to rebound the basketball, and we've got to make sure we get good looks on the offensive end.
Thanks a lot, Andreas. Good luck.
Thank you.
Well, Dan, it was an interesting point that Rob Paternostro made. The extra games that Bristol have been playing takes its toll on them once or twice this season, given the injuries as well. They've looked a little fatigued later on in games.
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, playing European competition, it's a big load on the bodies. You know, some big guys down in Bristol. You know, it's gonna take their toll, and obviously they paid the price so far this season. Hopefully, that this will be the only kind of hiccup they have on that front. But you know, it's definitely a worrying sign for Bristol, and they may have to consider, you know, making their roster a bit deeper, a bit stronger, and you know, hopefully they learn the lesson that's been taught so far this season.
Well, they did bring in CJ Jackson, of course, who briefly played for Leicester a couple of years ago. He'll be looking to remind the Leicester fans of what he can do here today.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's always extra motivation when you go back to a place where you played, and he didn't necessarily have the best time when he was in Leicester. So I think he'll have that chip on his shoulder, and he's obviously, you know, originally signed for 2 months when he first joined the Bristol Flyers. So, you know, it's coming towards the end of those 2 months. So we'll see if he's actually going to be playing for his job tonight, or whether he's, you know, they will extend that contract further along the season.
Well, there's plenty of storylines to unfold over the next couple of hours. Rob Paternostro is ready, and so too are the Bristol Flyers. We will have tip-off right after this break. Welcome back to Leicester. We're almost set to get this one underway here as the Riders and the Flyers going head-to-head. And it is Bristol and the former Leicester point guard, CJ Jackson, who will get the first offense of the ball game. Here's Lucas getting into the key, kicked out. And Graham Bell's three is off the mark. This is what Bristol do so well. Crash the offensive glass, but no second chance points that time.
Yeah, worrying sign there for Leicester Riders, though. First offensive rebound for Brad Green.
McKenzie a little bit short on that one. Here's Graham Bell running the floor and laying it in easy too.
Yeah, and that's where it gives you that energy, that aggressiveness towards the basket, and again that physicality running the floor and beating his man down just off pure effort.
It's Thomas Edwards who's guarding Allen, trying to deny him the ball. Thomas inside. Did he go up and down there? He did. He left the floor, and that'll be a travelling violation.
Yeah, good defense so far from the Bristol Flyers. You know, obviously forced Kimball McKenzie into a tough 2-point pull-up, and obviously they're great help from Brad Green on the inside.
Here's Jackson. Graham Bell. Hands off to Lucas, looking to go quick, but working at the top of the free throw line. Walker with the defensive rebound. Thomas, no room on the baseline. Out to Walker, he'll step into that three. Doesn't shoot a ton of threes, Mo Walker, but he can knock them down.
Yeah, 100%. He's probably been one of the big, beneficiaries of the changes up in Leicester over the last few weeks. A big guy, but capable of playing at this level, definitely.
Dive on the floor is going to be called a foul against Graham Bell. Walker's had his issues with injuries in recent seasons, but as you say, he's now in the starting lineup. He wasn't playing big minutes at the start of the year, but he certainly is now.
If we look at that matchup on the inside now, he is on that Leicester roster. He is one of the few people that's going to be able to compete with Brad Green, just from a physicality and size point of view. Brad Green is a big load on the inside for the Bristol Flyers, and Mo's going to have to play a big game tonight to be able to stop him.
Yeah, it's probably the best matchup, as you say, that Leicester have. Adowu would be the other obvious man coming off the bench, but not quite got the physique of Mo Walker to deal with Green. Here's Allen running off the screens. Allen fires up, a little short on his first attempt.
It'll be interesting to see how Teddy Allen adapts today. Obviously in the starting lineup for the first time, and also now teams have had a couple of games to see him, to have that scout on him and really work him out.
Nice shot from Graham Bell. Yeah, the other thing with Allen is he's obviously playing against the starters now, whereas coming off the bench, you play against the bench unit, and it's slightly different matchups as a result of that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Leicester and Teddy Allen are still in that process of finding out, how each other works and what works for both parties, really. And as we see the typical Kimball shot right there.
He knocks those ones down. Green keeping McKenzie out of the way there. And McKenzie saying to the ref, "How is that a foul on me when Brad Green was in the way? He was forcing him out of the way." Probably is a use of an arm there. It's definitely a foul by McKenzie on the end of it.
I think Brad Green there is just making a smart play, a big man's play.
Big man union right here.
Holding his space as a big man should do on the inside.
Well, Lucas was trying to get the net down and misses the finger roll, but Green helped him out. Well, he'll be pleased that Leicester haven't scored in the first 2.5 minutes, that's for sure. Leicester, particularly in this building, are more than capable of getting the scoreboard ticking. It's Holmes, around the screen from Walker. Drives along the baseline. Up top to Allen, puts it on the floor this time, driving in, gets all the way to the rim off the glass. First score for Teddy Allen. If you are watching on YouTube, we've got a poll going. How many points you think Teddy Allen is going to score tonight? Let us know. He's got 32 in week 1 in his first game in this building. In the 20s last week against Manchester. Here's Green with the hook, and Allen with the rebound.
Yeah, see a good defense from there, from Big Mo on the inside against Brad Green, and that would be key as we see the...
There he is again, and you could see he was halfway down the court when he let that ball go. He knew it was in.
He is definitely not shy of that. He's definitely going to put them up at any time, at any point of the game. So we've got to be ready, and the Bristol Flyers have definitely got to be more ready than that.
I think he is a guy who will average high teens shots per game. That one rattles out. Another offensive rebound. Bristol, they don't shoot the ball tremendously well, but what they do get is second chance opportunities.
Well, it's just the basic maths. If you shoot more shots than the other team, you're going to end up scoring more points eventually.
Well, Leicester just asking the question as to whether that was a goaltend. There was a foul called as the ball went up and then the shot was blocked. If it's hit the backboard first, let's have a look. I think it might be, actually. I think that might have been a goaltend. The referees are still talking it over. They haven't made their mind up now. They've had a couple of conversations, but there's no signal. If the ball hits the backboard, it does. Yeah. That's a goaltend.
It does, yeah. It's obviously a very tough call.
Yeah, it's
live.
a bang-bang play. So it's difficult for the officials to be 100% certain on, but it did look like it was a goaltend. It's not been given as a goaltend. They've given it as a two-shot foul. So Holmes, a little unfortunate there not to be going to the free throw line for a one shot instead of two.
Definitely one I think the refs will look back on. It's obviously, as we said before, extremely tough call to make in the moment, but yeah, unfortunate for Leicester and for Holmes in that occasion.
It's the first point from the free throw line.
I think we talked at the top of the show about two players for the Leicester Riders, but I think for them to win tonight and have a dominant performance, they're going to need a third wheel. And could that person be Holmes? Could it be Mo Walker? We'll have to see.
Certainly, we've seen some big games from Holmes this season. Think back to that game he had here against Newcastle. That's an offensive foul called against Graham Bell, and that's going to be his second personal foul. That's an early blow for Bristol.
Yeah. Bit of an unnecessary foul there from Roel. Just a basic screen to start the offense, get a bit of motion going. There's no need to make the extra effort to get some contact there, which is unfortunate for him and for Bristol.
Well, I'll join the big guys union as well, because that's the guard's fault right there. You didn't run your man into the screen. He shouldn't be chasing it, but you should have ran him right into RGB's chest there.
100% agree with you, as I will do on every big man discussion. But yeah, definitely a disappointing moment there for Bristol, though, because he obviously had a great start to the game. But as I said, you have to be a bit smarter on those situations. It's a screen just to get the offense started. It's not a screen to get someone open for a shot. It's just a basic screen right there.
McKenzie. Smith into the game now for Green. Here's Thomas down the lane. Doesn't get it off the glass. Lucas looking to push. Block! Oh, huge block from Thomas, who comes away with it.
Huge block right there and snapped it out the air.
Walker on the trail, jamming it down.
I don't think we've seen one of those from Mo Walker for a couple of years, but it's great to see him running the floor and finishing in style.
Well, we were talking about Teddy Allen's debut at 32 points. Mo Walker had a 32-point debut 7 years ago for the Worcester Wolves. He's certainly a guy who knows where the basket is. Samuel short on the three. Walker pulling in the rebound. Here is Allen. 5 points already. Back out to Holmes. He's going to let the three ball fly. That is a little short. And Thomas Edwards grabs the ball. Samuels around the screen, getting into the key, drops it off. Thomas Edwards knocked away and out of bounds by Mo Walker. Well, Bristol scored the first 6 points of the game, but Leicester are ahead now. Timeout is called. We'll be right back after this break. Welcome back to Leicester, where a bit of defense turned into offense for the Riders. The block from Thomas and the jam from Mo Walker at the other end.
Yeah, those are the plays that the Leicester Riders are going to need. Those energy plays, get the crowd going, get themselves going. That's going to help them to victory tonight.
Well, here's Jacob, who never needs an invitation for a three. They just were off him a little bit there.
I think he had a total of 5 seconds on the court before he got his first three on this occasion.
Good hands to deflect that loose, but Leicester still have the ball. It was Keedy Johnson who got his hand on it, and then Holmes, well, rub of the hands like something went wrong there. He missed everything, that's for sure.
Yeah. Not the best offense, I would say,
No.
for the Leicester Riders coming out of the timeout, but yeah, I think, taking into account they started the game off 6-0, I think they're taking, Rob will be happy with the way they've responded and got back into this game in the first quarter.
Oh, interesting that Leicester still with their starting 5 unit out on the floor. Bristol have already gone to their bench. Just Thomas Edwards, the only Bristol player from the start, is still on the court. This is usually the time in a quarter where coaches do go to the bench unit sort of midway through, but Rob looking to go a little longer with his starting unit here.
Yeah, maybe he's just looking in to get a bit more rhythm, a bit more familiarity with each other. Obviously Teddy Allen coming into the lineup's a big change for them, but had he been coming off the bench, maybe we would have seen a sub earlier, but at this moment in time.
Johnson a little short on his shot. Here's Allen in transition, still going all the way high off the glass, doesn't get the roll. Neither team lighting it up from three-point line just yet. Johnson penetrates strong to the hole. He wanted a foul, but Mo Walker was straight up.
Yeah, I think that was really good defense there from the Leicester Riders team, but especially from Mo Walker.
It's Thomas for 3, and he knocks it down. And saying they weren't heating up, but there's a 3 to give Leicester a 4-point lead. Jacob. Johnson penetrates and kicks. Shot clock down to 5 here. Smith, he's not averse to a 3-point shot, the big fella. That one's off the back of the iron. Jacob attacking the rim. Foul is called, the basket is good, and he will go to the line for a bonus free throw.
Yeah, I mean, again, we see Bristol punishing the offensive glass there and punishing the Leicester Riders. Trajan Jacob there getting himself going with a nice and one finish on the inside.
He was fouled by Thomas. He might have been fouled by Smith as well, his teammate.
Yeah, Smith definitely cleared out some space there for him, though, to be able to get all the way to the basket. I'm not sure if they've called the foul actually on Leslie Smith's defender for pulling him down.
Yeah, it is. It's actually Mo Walker for that push in the back. So the basket, it's even better outcome for Bristol. The basket is good, and they get an end-line ball. It's Johnson. Back to Jacob. Inside. Oh, it's through the hands of Smith and out of bounds.
It's a bit disappointing for Bristol. I think the play they ran is a typical play that Coach Skopoulos runs a lot from end line out of bounds, and it's, just that slipped out of Leslie Smith's hand in a great position on the inside.
Here's Lowell. Allen going the opposite way of the screen, spins into the key, and just a little short on that one as well. Thomas Edwards in transition is fouled, and this time it will be a 3-point play. Raf Thomas Edwards taking the contact, and he will shoot a bonus.
A few complaints there from the Leicester Riders players.
Wasn't a ton of contact, was there?
No. Got to like the play though from Rafael Thomas Edwards and on the break, attacking the ring aggressively and getting to the free throw line for the and one.
Well, he makes the free throw. He would have broke his free throw line if he got the rebound there. I think he was so far underneath.
Shooter's touch though, Dan. Shooter's touch.
Here's Lowell. Back to Adowu. Allen gets them all up in the air and is able to finish this time.
He's very, very aggressive on the offense. Every time he catches the ball, he's looking to score, he's looking to get a shot up, or he's looking to create an advantage for himself. And we'll see if he's able to create some advantages for his teammates as the game goes on.
He's got half of Leicester's points so far. Samuelson's got a foul after the score.
Looks like Bristol are going to go with the big lineup here. Brad Green and Leslie Smith on the inside. Be interested to see how Leicester deal with that.
Yeah, you wonder who is guarding who here, because they've got Adowu as the only real obvious big out there, Leicester. I mean, Allen and Lowell are both sizable players, but you'd think of them more as wings. Allen to the mid-range, off the mark.
It will be a battle of styles at the moment in time. Will it be the big brute force of the Bristol Flyers, or the skill and the mobility of the Leicester Riders?
Well, Allen with the steal, and he throws it off Green for a Leicester play. And as I say, he is big. I mean, we think of him as a shooter and as a guard, but he is a big unit.
Yeah, definitely is a big unit. Especially if you're getting that level of defensive intensity from your best scorer. It's got to be contagious for the rest of the team, and hopefully, brings out the best in his teammates.
Here's Russell to Adowu. Space for the three. Back iron. Lowell ran under that a little bit, and Smith got the rebound. Smith. Good hands from Washington to rip that away. Leicester have numbers here. Allen lobs it up to Adowu, but it's broken up by Jacob.
Wasn't the best pass there from Teddy Allen.
Ooh, Russell says, I've got the ball, ref. Oh, and the referee's... It looked like he called a foul at first, and then he turned around with the jump ball.
I mean, I think it's the right call in the end, from where I've seen it, but...
Well, I guess the only question is, did they have hands on the ball for long enough for it to be a jump ball? But
yeah, that is...
Possession arrow favours Leicester, so they will at least get the ball.
The right call, though. The right call, Dan.
Well, it definitely didn't look like a foul, that's for sure. Here's Washington. Law drives in. Tough finish, almost forced home by Adowu, but he got bumped in the process. Brad Green called for his first foul of the game.
If we look at Leicester's lineup on the floor at the moment as well, all 5 players British passport holders. It's not a thing we're often used to seeing in this league, but it's a good thing to see, I think.
A good thing, obviously, with your Great Britain hat on as well, Dan, to see the improvement in the quality of minutes that British players have been getting in recent years.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's always great. I think it's great for the league as well. If you look at some of the more successful leagues around the world, a lot of those leagues are built on, and the strong foundations they have are built on the domestic players, and it's important that we do start to see those, as you said, British players playing not just minutes, but important minutes.
Johnson from the elbow knocks it in. Leicester slow enough with the inbound that the shot clock is turned off here, so they can have the final go of this quarter, which usually means that Connor Washington ticks it down. That's exactly what he's looking to do. Samuel's harassing it. Lowell, he's going to take the three. Good challenge by Green. There's time here for Bristol. Johnson fires up on the buzzer off the back of the iron. Tight first quarter here in Leicester. Andreas Kapoulas and his Flyers lead by a bucket. We'll have the second quarter after this break.
They can start in the middle of the floor. All you need to do is score a basket, first one back to the middle. After they score, will be our winner. So first one back to this real circle, gentlemen. Okay, so we're ready to go in 3, 2, 1, let's go! Oh, we got one in already. First back to the middle, and we have our winner! Our winner never goes away empty-handed. As a Riders foam finger. You can catch more of the super action here at the Morningside Arena as the World Snooker Grand Prix heads to the Morningside Arena for the first time in January. Tickets on sale now from the Morningside website and box office for the tournament, which runs from January the 15th through to the 21st. And it features the top 42 players for the 23-24 season 1 year ranking list. And tickets start at just £20. So make sure you get involved if you want to catch the World Snooker Tour World Grand Prix right here.
Welcome back to Leicester. Rob Paternoster won't be happy with his team's shooting performance so far. You can see neither team really lighting it up, but Leicester 26%. Leicester are the second best in the league in field goal percentage. Bristol the second worst, although they cover that up a little bit by leading the league in rebounds, offensive rebounds.
Yeah, it was definitely, I would say, a scrappy first quarter, Dan. Not an offensive exhibition from either team.
No, probably favours Bristol and the way they play more than Leicester. So Leicester will be hoping to start to turn it around here in the second. Here's Bowman. A little step away, and he knocks down a 17-foot jump shot.
Yeah, a tough shot there from Blake Bowman. Great to see him, being aggressive and trying to get going in this game. You see, now
tough matchup here for him, though.
Here's the other end of the mismatch on the other end, though, and trying to defend those big bodies in the low post.
Well, this is definitely, as you say, a stylistic thing, isn't it? Can Leicester's speed at this end of the floor negate Bristol's height at the other end of the floor? Here's Russell for three. Oh, that's a tough shot as well.
Two young Brits, two tough shots to start the quarter here for the Leicester Riders. It's great to see. Hopefully it can get everyone else going in this game.
It's Johnson, the top of the key. A little flat on that one. Russell with the rebound. Here's Bowman in the open court. You're stepping his way to the rim, and that's what Bowman does well in transition.
Yeah, an amazing athlete. Seeing him in the open court, it's a great thing to see, and obviously when he can finish like that, it's even better.
Johnson along the baseline. His pass is deflected, but still gets to Smith. Smith taking it hard, taking the contact, and one for Leslie Smith.
Yeah, I mean, that would be, Leslie Smith catching the ball on the three-point line. You've got to think that favours the Leicester Riders with the mobility and the speed they have on the court at the moment, but Leslie Smith doing a great job using his body to get to the basket there.
It's fascinating because we're almost waiting to see which coach moves away from this current style, but they both seem to be effective at the offensive end of the floor, so they don't want to yet.
Yep.
Smith can't convert the free throw. Here's Bowman again, going right down the middle. Somebody got a little piece of him. Lucas, whose numbers were shown to the table. So Bowman will go to the free throw line for Leicester.
Looks like Coach Kapulis was the first one to make a sub there, obviously bringing in Roel Graham for Leslie Smith. But still, I still think that's a mismatch on the inside.
It's not a massive downgrade in terms of size, is it?
I do think Royal was a bit more mobile there on the defensive end. He's able to move his feet a bit quicker than Leslie Smith, and the disadvantage being those early fouls that Royal picked up in the first quarter. We'll see how he deals with that.
There's a lot more stationary on the screen that time, that's for sure. Here's Lucas. Throws it away. Washington running, has Law with him. Law kicks it back out to Washington for 3. And that's almost guaranteed Connor Washington at the top.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically a layup for Connor Washington. This stage in his career, his experience, knows exactly what he can do and what he can bring to this team, and that's one of the things he can definitely bring is that three-point shooting.
He's one of the all-time great three-point shooters in British Basketball League history. We actually have 3 of the top 20 in the league at the moment. 3 of the all-time great three-point shooters. You know the other 2, Dan? I feel like you might...
Justin Robinson from Surrey is definitely one.
Yeah.
Trying to rack my brain now to see who the other one
number
is.
2 all-time. He's playing tomorrow in the Sky Sports game. Patrick Whelan is number 2 all-time in three-point shooting. Here's Lowell. Down low to Adowu with shot clock ticking down. Goes to the turnaround. And Bowman trying to keep that alive, but it's Jacob who comes away with it.
Yeah, if you're the Bristol Flyers, you're happy with that shot every time down the floor.
Yeah.
Fade away contested 2 from Sam Idowu. You know, it's not the best shot for the Leicester Riders.
Well, you can see Patrick Whelan and the Gladiators taking on London. It's Law! Jams it in transition. Well, timeout called now by Coach Kapoulas, but that certainly got them on their feet at the Morningside Arena. TJ Law in flight.
Yeah, we've seen it a couple of times now from the Leicester Riders getting out in transition. They've been extremely effective every time they've been able to stretch their legs and get out and run. And finishing emphatically there by TJ Law.
Well, this has been a really good start to the quarter by the Leicester Riders. 13 points in 3 minutes. And you talked about it. We started by Bowman and by Russell making shots, difficult shots. That got them the momentum.
Yeah, 100%. That's all you need sometimes in games, Dan, just to get going. That that little spark, that little play from one player. You know, especially the guys coming off the bench, as you said. You know, Rob took a little while to get those guys in the game, but they've definitely come in and performed at a high level. You know, Russell, Bowman, Connor Washington with a 3 just before. TJ Law with a finish there. You know, they're really producing in this second quarter.
And that is the thing with the lineup that they've got now, is they've got a lot of guys who in the open court are very effective indeed. It's probably as mobile a lineup as they can put out there, really.
Yeah, 100%. You know, I think especially in the first quarter, you know, as you said, the introduction of Teddy Allen into the starting lineup, maybe the rest of the team were standing around and trying to wait to watch him play. But you know, we see this this group of core players really for the Leicester Riders on the court at the moment. They're really getting out there, really showing what they can do. Well,
Coach Kapoulas said in his pre-game interview, we need to keep them out of transition. He won't be happy with 15 fast break points for the Leicester Riders already. Here's Graham Bell. Jackson. Looking inside to Green, but they can't get the ball there. Lucas under pressure, misses everything, and Bowman comes up with the loose ball. Back out to Law. Space for Adowu for 3, and he knocks it down. And Leicester have their biggest lead of the game here at 8 points.
And that is the mismatch for Leicester on the offensive end there. The 5-man in Sam Adowu stretching out, shooting that 3-point shot, and that's not where Brad Green is comfortable.
This is Graham Bell trying to make the most of his mismatch down low, and you can see both benches contributing early on.
Yeah, great move there, solid, always under control from Royal Graham Bell there in the low post.
Bowman drives in, gets up in the air, but throws the ball away. Lucas stumbling. Back to Graham Bell. Squares up to Adowu, takes the shot, almost banks it in. Sure he called bank on that one.
No, I'd like to see him be a bit more aggressive there on that play. He's just made a great move in the low post the play before.
Washington off the back of the iron.
Always hold your breath when Connor Washington shoots the three because you expect it to go in.
Seems to make more at the top than he does in the corner, which is unusual, really.
Yeah, I just think he finds himself in those positions a lot more instead of spacing out in the corner as a traditional 3 or a 4-man may do.
Green somehow misses the putback, and Russell comes away with it. Numbers again for Leicester. Bowman slowing it down. Second attempt, still doesn't go in. Well, both teams would have wanted those ones back. Here's Jackson. Spinning into trouble, and it's poked away by Bowman. Well, Leicester have started this quarter brightly with 16 points, but Bristol, chipping away at it. We got a timeout on the floor, so we'll take a break. We'll be right back. Well, his team kept Leicester to 15 in the first quarter, but they've given up 16 already here in the second, Coach Kapoulis. With a chance from the free throw line to narrow the gap to 4.
So you see Coach Rob Paternoster goes back with his starters. All 5 of his starters back on the floor. Interesting to see how that works out for him.
Both of those are converted. 31-27 with 5 to play here in the first half. Here's McKenzie. Oh, they've left him wide open. We can't punish him, though. He's frustrated with that. Smith thought about the 3, decided against it. They're 0 for 7 from behind the arc, Bristol. That's a double dribble, I think, or something illegal. Or did he step on the line? It didn't look right, whatever it was.
I think he committed a few violations at once there.
But take your pick.
The ref just had to choose one.
8th turnover of the game for the Flyers. McKenzie to Holmes at the elbow. He almost banked one in. Oh, it fell kindly to Mo Walker. Holmes under pressure. That's short. Jackson. Round to Lucas. Not the best shooting night either team have had. Holmes with the rebound.
Another tough shot there from Royal Graham Bell.
Thomas blocked, but gets his own rebound. It's still batted about, and that will be a Bristol ball. Thomas, just a word for the official there. He thought he was fouled, perhaps. Well, there might have been a late slap down. He certainly stayed up vertical for a long part of that, Smith, and whether he got a little blow to the face as well, because he's getting some treatment Leslie Smith. I think he's going to have to leave the game, whether he's got a little cut or something.
There was definitely some contact there from on the Thomas drive. I think he just got a stray elbow to the mouth there, but I'm sure he'll be fine and back in the action as soon as possible.
Graham Bell. Size mismatch with McKenzie here, trying to back him down, but no way through. Lucas penetrates, and the foul is called.
We see Leicester, they've gone to this switching defense, and we're seeing that Bristol are trying to take the most of these mismatches that are created. We saw Rowan Graham trying to post up Kimball McKenzie, and we see there again the other mismatch being Lucas trying to drive against the bigger Thomas there.
Oh, he's chuntering away here because he thought he might have got one at the other end. Instead, one goes against him. Lucas there, I'm not sure that wasn't a line violation there. It looked like he might have stepped over the line before that went in. I've only seen it called once this season. He might have done it again there as well. It's one of those rules that is not often enforced. Here's Thomas for three. Back iron on that one. Well, Lucas was looking for some help. Here's Graham Bell. Throwing it away. Quick outlet to Allen. Back to McKenzie, sets his feet. Rims out for three, batted out by Thomas. Allen for three. That one rattles in. His second of the game.
We saw he had Kimball wide open on the wing there, but he said, no, it's my time to get one up, and he definitely got a good shot there for his team, though.
Well, he's got 10 points and leads all scorers. Bristol still to make a three-point shot. In some ways, when you're -5 on the three-point count, you're doing well to only be down 5. Holmes call for the foul.
Yeah, I think you can see that it's not a strong area of Bristol's game. You know, taking out Trajan Jacob from that equation. You know, we see a lot of the time, except on that occasion where Holmes is called for the foul. We see Leicester going under on the screens, trying to dare Bristol into shooting that three-point shot.
Well, they shoot less than 30% as a team, and as you say, if you take out Jacob and Ollison, who's obviously injured as well, I'd imagine it'd be even lower than that. It's going to be a foul on Thomas Edwards, I think. As Walker ended up on the floor. It's his second personal foul. Here comes Jacob as Graham Bell sits down. Allen. Walker setting the screen. Allen backs out. It's good defense from Jacob. Late in the shot clock now for Leicester. McKenzie drives hard and finishes well.
Tough finish there from Kimball McKenzie. Maybe it gets him going tonight. He's had a couple of good looks and missed them, but you know, the toughest shot of the night, he makes it.
Well, he was 0 of 4 before that one. His first points of the game. Johnson. Lucas drops it off to Green, who lays it in for 2.
And nice offense there from the Bristol Flyers. Good movement, good spacing, and a good finish on the inside from Brad Green. Not the easiest pass to catch for a big man, but did really well.
Allen drops it off to Walker, nice pass. Munster's points in the paint percentage wasn't great, but it goes up after that one.
I think that's going to be really important for Leicester Riders and for Teddy Allen as the season goes on. You know, the ability, obviously we all know that he can score now. The ability that he can, you know, create for others and create easy shots as he did there for Mo Walker.
Holmes doesn't get the bounce. There's a foul gone against Bristol. Their bodies all over the place. There's no foul on the shot. Oh, it's there. Thomas Edwards just barging Thomas out of the way. That's going to be the third personal foul on Raf Thomas Edwards, and he kind of leads the physicality, if you like, for Bristol with his presence out there, way he offensive rebounds, the way he plays defense. He's an important leader out there for them.
Yeah, I would say he's just as important as, as we said at the top of the show, Trajan Jacob or Brad Green. What he brings to the Bristol Flyers is more than just the numbers and the points and the rebounds. It is that mentality, I think, that Andreas Kapoulis wants to, set for his teams at the beginning of the season. And, I think Raf does a great job in, following that to a T, basically, for Coach Kapoulis.
Well, and didn't draw iron on that shot, so it'll be 8 seconds on the shot clock for Leicester. It's into Thomas. The pass is deflected, though. He traveled with it.
I think we've gone back to what we saw at the beginning of the game. It's a bit scrappy the last couple of minutes. A lot of fluidity on offensive end for either team. As you see there, it was definitely a travel from Minnie Thomas.
He had his pivot foot set and then a little hop step afterwards. Bristol trying to run some clock here as we approach half-time. They trail by 5. Don't want to give Leicester too much time to work with. Here's Johnson. Johnson attacking. Tough shot, doesn't go. Another offensive rebound, still can't convert. Still Green's going after it. And I think that touched Thomas. And that will be a Bristol ball. And that's what they do, Bristol. They don't shoot the ball tremendously well, but they sure crash the glass.
100%. I mean, there's a lot of coaches, especially the old school coaches, that will say every shot is a pass, and that's definitely how Brad Green sees them at the moment. Every shot that goes up, he sees it as a pass coming off the ring for himself.
Well, they're going to call a timeout here, Bristol, to draw up a play with 8.5 seconds remaining. Of course, when your shooting percentages are down in the 30s, as both these teams are, there's a lot of offensive rebounds out there to be got.
Make sure set the play screen, let's pop out to get open, okay, get the ball, okay, Kiri pop out, catch it, and we're going straight away to Spain pick the roll. There is 8 seconds on the clock, okay, hey, let's get a good one, whatever it is, if it's a 2 or a 3 ball, but be aggressive in your mentality, make sure we cross the boards, no fouls, okay, we're on team fouls, we gotta make sure offensive rebound and get back on the
Saw the play there from Coach Kapoulis, running the Spain pick and roll, which is a well-known play across the basketball world nowadays. Means a ball screen with a back screen from one of the best shooters on the floor at that point in time. So we'll see who they run it for. We see Trajan Jacob come into the game, so he may be the guy setting that Spain screen, as Andreas Kapoulis asked for.
It's Keedy Johnson who gets the ball. The screen is for Green. It's back to Smith, who fires up the triple, and they've had no joy from the three-point line in the first half. The Bristol Flyers, they are 0 from 8 from behind the arc. And Leicester, who started a little bit slowly, got themselves going, and they will head to the locker rooms with a 38-33 lead. Dan and I will be back to break it all down in a few moments' time. Welcome back to our coverage of the British Basketball League. Dan Routledge and Dan Clark with you. And Dan, Leicester Riders leading that quarter, but it was very much sparked by their bench unit.
Yeah, definitely. I think it was an interesting half of basketball. At times scrappy, at times very exciting. But yeah, definitely, I think the exciting time came when Rob went to his bench players, went to his British core of players, really, and that really got the Leicester Riders going at the beginning of the second quarter.
It certainly did. Let's have a look at the numbers from the first half, and the one that leaps off the page is Bristol 0 of 8 from the three-point line. Leicester taken an awful lot of them with 6 of 15, but normally 18-point differential in the 3 points shows up more than 5 points on the scoreboard.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, in today's world of basketball, not being able to shoot the three-point shot is normally a huge black hole in your game plan. And the fact that they're only 5 points down, taking into account that they haven't made a three-pointer yet, it's encouraging for Bristol, but at the same time worrying, I think.
And 9 turnovers as well, something else they'll be looking to clean up. Let's have a look back at the story of that first half. And opening few minutes, Leicester couldn't buy a basket at all, and Bristol actually looking quite comfortable early on.
Yeah, it was a frustrating start, I think, for the Leicester Riders. I think they were a bit dependent on Teddy Allen creating, and a lot of the plays, ended up in 4 players standing there watching Teddy Allen play basketball, and it's not going to crack it at this level now. The league's, at the best level it's been, in recent years, and 1 against 5 is not going to win you many games.
But he does have 10 points in that first half. But it was fascinating, the difference in styles that we saw at times, with Bristol looking to go big, Leicester trying to be a little smaller and quicker, and how those two things played out at either end of the floor.
Yeah, it was really interesting to watch it for a while. And I think until Coach Kapoulis made the decision to take Leslie Smith out of the game, it was a very equal matchup. Both teams really taking advantage of their, the mismatches they had on each end of the floor. But it was interesting to see, the Leicester trying to stretch out the likes of Brad Green and make him, take him to areas where he's not comfortable. And likewise, we saw Roel Graham-Brell taking it down to the low post and just overpowering the Leicester Riders' smaller players.
And Leicester probably looking at the best in the open floor with 15 fast break points.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, even Coach Kapoulis highlighted at the top of the show. It's something that Leicester, excel in, and it's something that they've definitely shown that they can excel in, so far, especially when they've been able to get stops on the defensive end and leak out, and as I said, stretch their legs and really, show how athletic and entertaining they can be for their fans.
Well, that'll be something that Bristol will be doubtless working on now at halftime. Well, we can meet the Flyers a little bit closer up with our halftime content.
If you were talking about turbulence, I mean, the month of November was a rocky one for us. That was like flying into a storm.
That losing streak still continues. Yeah, that's the frustration for them.
I feel like right now, coming out of it, everyone's starting to play really well together.
TJ here with my boy BG, and today we're gonna attempt the paper plane competition. And we're gonna see how well this goes. Whoever throws it the farthest wins. It's not gonna be pretty, to say the least, but we're gonna give it our best shot and see what we can do. I'm just gonna copy Brad. We're gonna see how that goes. We had a rough November, so we're just trying to get back into the swing of things and play how we know we can play and get the job done.
All I know is the better you crease a piece of paper,
Paper ain't paper like I want it to.
the better it'll look. That's all I know. If I can remember correctly, this plane is called the Bulldog. I think we got one. We got a good one over here. Stronger little front part to it than most paper airplanes, but hopefully that'll let it fly a little bit better.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
That's a winner right there. I'll tell you what, that's a winner. What are you doing? No.
That's what you just said, bro.
No, I said like this. You go boom, fold it in half this way. I feel like right now, just working as a team, being together is really helping me out. I mean, we have a great group of guys, and I'm enjoying all of it right now.
It pays to have good teammates. Handcrafted by yours truly, Brad Green.
Ready? 3, 2, 1.
We don't look too far ahead of the schedule. We kind of take it one day at a time, one game at a time, and we get in recovery when we can and just be ready to go. Oh, he's in the air. Look at him. He's in. He's gone.
It's not a one-man show out there, so we rely on one another.
Get him out of here. Get him out of here.
It's just trust and respect with one another. It helps us a lot getting through those times.
Just taking it away. Here's Dusha onto Wiley underneath, and he finishes it well. And
wow, good energy there on the boards from Plymouth.
Taylor, beautiful pass. Olasheni finishes that one. Jordan Taylor directing traffic.
Yeah, what a pass.
Skipping it across, jab, drive, behind the back, Bibkins. Oh my goodness, Jalen decked the halls with Bowser Holly. Oh my goodness.
Allen along the baseline is thrown out by Nicholas Lewis. What a block from Lewis.
Intercepted now, here's Hart. Bounce pass, Dusha, Wiley, Plymouth City Patriots punching one at the rims in Surrey.
Get out in transition, get easy bucket.
Long touchdown pass ahead. Matthew Morgan, can he make it? Oh my goodness! Matthew Morgan falling away from the basket.
Wow, here's Whelan driving hard. Blocked. Second attempt is blocked again. Third attempt, that one's rejected as well. None shall pass.
Goodness me, incredible protection.
Alley-oop to Wiley! And we have our first field goal of the game, and what a spectacular one.
It was, and it all stemmed from the defensive energy. 3 consecutive blocks on one of the best scorers in the league leads to that.
Sheffield Sharks will reset on that possession. Oh my goodness!
Oh my gosh!
Early Christmas present, Jalen Pipkins. I told you, high flyer. Jingle bells, baby. Off into the hands of Gooden. Get his balance, but loses his footing. Gooden just throws that one up. Oh my goodness! Cam Gooden out of nowhere. Don't act like you meant that, Cam Gooden.
Wheeler with the rebound, trying to push the tempo. Oh, nice dot, finds Clifton Moore. Are you kidding me? Oh, baby! Clifton Moore Jr. just set the house on fire with that one.
Welcome back to Leicester, where the Riders are ahead in this one against the Bristol Flyers, leading by 5 at half-time. And let's have a look at the other games this week. They're into the third quarter up in Newcastle, where the Eagles are leading the Patriots by 6 in that one. Those two teams go head-to-head again on Saturday. Leicester back in action against Sheffield. Tomorrow night, we've got second against first on Sky Sports. 7:30 start for that one. Tip-off is at 7:45, and Dan's Scorchers will be in action on New Year's Day against the London Lions. Don't need to tell you, Dan, but sorry, on New Year's Day, they win almost every year, so pressure on.
I mean, I've been told that once too many times, I think, this week. But yeah, I mean, it's a big game for us every year. Really excited. We always get a full arena, full gym. Lots of excitement around the game, so really looking forward to it again this year.
Well, the bench points that Leicester have scored, 17 points to 10. 10 is pretty decent for Bristol. 17 very good for Leicester.
Yeah, an extremely, productive bench so far for Leicester Riders. We often talk about, it's a team game and this, that, and the other, but today more than any other day, everyone was talking about Teddy Allen at the top of the show and throughout the week, but the bench has been the ones that have sparked the performance so far for the Leicester Riders, giving them that energy and that entertainment for the fans as well in the Morningside Arena.
Yeah, I mean, definitely at the start of that quarter, Leicester had obviously struggled a little bit in the first quarter with only 15 points, but it was when their bench 5 was on the court that they were able to really get into the open court, and it really started from that Bowman difficult shot, the Russell difficult shot at the top of the key that got them going in the right direction. And I guess it was one of those things, if the bench can start you off, that can fire up the starters to then want to deliver even more.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, a lot of importance and a lot of responsibility is placed on that starting lineup, but if the bench can produce in the way that the Leicester Riders bench has produced so far, and that British core really coming to the forefront in that second quarter, and really just providing that spark that's needed sometimes just to get your team over the hump and start everyone producing and moving in the right direction.
Well, Leicester are second in the league in terms of bench scoring, 34 points per game off the bench, and they're halfway to that. Just a little issue at the scorers table, which they've managed to sort out so we can get this third quarter underway, and it's Kimball Mackenzie, the Leicester Riders captain, with the ball, who gets to the elbow. He can't convert, but Thomas gets the offensive rebound, and he travels with it. Well, he thought there was a foul called because he was standing there waiting to see what happened next, and then he turned around and realized it was a turnover.
Well, I thought there was a foul called as well, but so the ref on the baseline there saw something different, but got to take them as they come in this game.
Lucas spinning into the key, forced back out. Lucas calling for a post up from Green. 4 on the shot clock though, he needs to be quick. And Walker got a piece of that. That ball is live because it did hit the rim. It shouldn't be a 24-second reset. They've reset it wrongly there. It doesn't matter as they score.
Again, there we see highlight of Bristol Flyers in the first half was their offensive rebound, and we see it again there punishing the Leicester Riders on the offensive glass.
Allen getting to the basket, laying it in. 12 now for Teddy Allen.
Yeah, those are the ones you can't let him have. Those easy lay-ins that can really get him going and really put him on a scoring streak as we start this second half.
Green comes up for the high screen, and Lucas ended up going the opposite way to the screen and was fouled by Mackenzie. It's into Graham Bell. Here's Green again in the low post. Spins the other way this time. Gets his own rebound. And he's basically getting, for every 2 points he gets 1 offensive rebound as well.
Yeah, as I said in the first half, Brad Green definitely thinks that every shot that goes up is a pass to himself. So, great job there again on the offensive glass. Interesting to see that, Bristol have gone to Brad Green in the low post both possessions here early on in the first half.
Allen did well there. He was driving. I think he was going to pass it. Then he heard the whistle and threw it towards the rim to make sure he'd get some free throws.
Definitely got that scorer's mentality.
Yeah, yes, yeah. Allen rattles in the first free throw. He makes them both, and well, they've worked quick, haven't they, to find the Teddy head. He only needed one game to impress. Here's Jacob, around to Lucas, spinning, gets it to Green. Thomas has done really well. Green kept with it, though. Another offensive rebound and putback.
Just relentless on the offensive glass. Never gives up. Always ready, always got his hands ready, and he's definitely starting to produce on the offensive end as well.
Well, he's got a double-double now. That was his 10th rebound and his 10th point. There's Thomas with some offensive rebounding and putback. 8 of his 10 rebounds, by the way, Green, at the offensive end. I'd imagine 6 of them were off his missed shots.
I mean, you're probably the man to answer my question now, but I'm not sure what the record is for offensive rebounds in a British Basketball League game, but you know, he's definitely on his way to something close to that.
Here's Allen in transition for 3. Well, you need to give me a minute or two to work my way through that one. Leicester out to 8. Here's Jackson for 3, doesn't go. McKenzie with the rebound, it's slapped away, but Leicester will keep possession of the ball. Kimball shaking his hand as if to say, well, there might have been some contact on that one. There's confirmation of the double-double for Brad Green. 8 offensive rebounds, 10 rebounds in total. He's missed 7 shots, so I would imagine at least 6 of the misses he's got back himself. Here's Allen into the key, a little bit short, and that comes out to Jacob. Jacob right down the middle, forces it home, and he'll go to the line for a bonus free throw.
Tough finish there from Trajan Jacob on the fast break. You know, 1 against 2, but you know, saw the gap and went for it, and I'm not sure who he drew the foul from, but it looks like Holmes there.
Yeah, I mean, he's not seen too much of the ball in the first half. He only had 2 shot attempts. That's uncharacteristically low for him in 14 minutes or so. My guess, by the way, to the answer to your question is either Willie Green of Manchester a few years ago or somebody like Antonio Garcia from the late 90s, early 2000s. Maybe Kenny Scott was a good offensive rebounder as well. Thrown out of bounds by Walker.
Again, it's another, you know, Teddy Allen's got off to a great start here in the second half, but the Leicester offense is still a bit stagnant. You know, they're still waiting for Teddy Allen to produce, and it's not always the best way and the best remedy to win a basketball game, just dependent on one player.
Here's Jacob. Slamming it home, cutting back door, and I said he had a quiet first half. He's already got more points in the last 30 seconds than he did in the entire first half.
Powerful finish, and then the stare down towards the Leicester bench. You like to see the aggressiveness there from Trajan Jacob.
Thomas back at the rim and down for 3.
Talked about that third player for the Leicester Riders, and Thomas is definitely having a solid game so far.
Lucas with the slip, able to keep the ball though. Here's Jacob now for 3, strings it, and he really is going.
And that's what you need as a scorer sometimes. You just need to see the ball go through the hoop one time and you're good to go. And as we can see now from Trajan Jacob, he's definitely good to go.
That was the first made 3 for the Flyers, a 10th attempt, and it goes in. Here's Allen, he's going to fire up the 3, that's front iron, comes out to Jackson. Graham Bell. It's a little fall away. Green again on the offensive rebound, and again. He just keeps on going until he gets the score.
It's just relentless. Mo Walker is trying his best to box him out, trying to be physical with him, but he has just got great hands, big body, and he's really using it to the best of his advantage at the moment.
McKenzie with that trademark 17-foot jump shot. And Leicester's lead is 3 as timeout is called. And we'll take a break as well. We'll be right back.
Spin the wheel twice. If your name appears on the screen, you've won a voucher for a free pizza at Peter's Pizzeria. So let's hear it. Let's spin that wheel. I said, let's spin that wheel. Benjamin Gill, you have won for free pizza at Peter's Pizzeria. But we're going to go again. We're going to have 2 winners. Make some noise as we spin the wheel. Spin the wheel. Your name appears on the screen. You win a free Peter's Pizzeria pizza. Joel Denham. Benjamin Gill, Joel Denham, you've won a voucher for a free pizza. Kennedy.
Welcome back to Leicester, where the Green to Jacob connection is working well for the Flyers. 5 points for Trajan Jacob off a couple of assists from Brad Green, and he's got 8 of his 10 in this quarter. Here is Green. Round the screen, Jacob strings another 3 and the scores are level.
As we said, he can definitely get going when he wants to. You know, as soon as he sees one of those 3-pointers go down, he's going to start shooting more and more as the game goes on.
Thomas had it knocked away, but keeps it in play. Adowu for 3. And rebound pulled in by Graham Bell. Well, they couldn't buy a 3 in the first half, but they've certainly woken up with Jacob. Here is Green. Well, he doesn't get an offensive rebound for once. Allen trying to get his own rebound. He's trapped in it, and he's able to escape. Ripped away. Adowu still has it. Out to McKenzie. Holmes, and somehow they scrambled 2 points out of that Leicester.
Quite possibly one of the scrappiest 2 points they've had all season, but they'll take it at this point in time.
They all count the same. No pictures drawn in the scorebook. Lucas. Jacob, they're right around him now. Oh, he's banked one in.
That was definitely what they call him in basketball, a heat check, and he made one. You know, a bit of a prayer there from the left wing, but bank's definitely open in Leicester today for Trajan Jacob. And one.
Oh, they will give him the basket. Graham Bell called for the foul, and he sort of slipped, but the basket has counted, so it will be a bonus free throw coming.
Yeah, I think that's a good call from the ref there. He definitely picked the ball up when the foul was called, so even though he did slip, as you said, you know, I think the continuation on the play was definitely live and a good call from the ref.
There's a warning for Coach Kapoulis. Something he's said on the sidelines. No joy on the free throw for Thomas. Leicester leading this one by 1. 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Lucas looking for some room. Not much there. Johnson with a tough shot. Hits the iron. Another offensive rebound and put back by Leslie Smith this time.
That is Bristol Flyers' game plan at the moment, is get a sharp and then crash the offensive glass by the looks of it, but it's going very well for them so far as they take that 1-point lead at the end of the third quarter.
Knocked away from Allen. Bristol with numbers. Drop back to Lucas and to Jacob, and McKenzie fouls it.
Definitely been a quarter dominated by offensive rebounds and Trajan Jacob for the Bristol Flyers. Majority of his points coming in this quarter. Been, as we said at the top of the show, he's an explosive scorer and at any point in the game can go off and be that X factor that the Bristol Flyers need to win a basketball game.
Well, he, as I said, barely shot the ball in the first half, just 2 shots in the first half, 2 points made. And yet he's going to the free throw line here with 2 minutes to go in the third, looking for points number 17 and 18 in the game. So he's got 15 points in this quarter. He makes them both. 16 of his 18 points coming in this period. Bowman in an awkward spot, gets it to Lowell. Knocked away by Graham Bell. Johnson off and running. He's fouled, and he will shoot 2. Sloppy there from Leicester.
Very sloppy from Leicester, but great intensity on the defensive end from the Bristol Flyers. You know, even before the turnover occurred, there's a lot of people in defensive line, passing lines, and try and deny passes to especially to Teddy Allen. And they ended up coming up with a great steal there from after the tip away from Royal Graham.
Well, what an impact he has made as he sits down Jacob. He's got 16 of the 27 points that they've scored in this quarter. Johnson stretches Bristol's lead to 5. They led by 6 in the early stages. Spent a long time behind. Here's Allen. Out to Washington. Allen gets past Thomas Edwards to the rim. Rebounded Dowu, and he drops it in.
Yeah, great play from Sam Dowu on the offensive glass there. We've been talking a lot about the Bristol Flyers on offensive glass, but the undersized big man there doing a great job.
Johnson a little step away. Front iron on that one. Washington comes up with the loose ball. Bowman is out in front. Comes back to Allen, and he's fouled by Thomas Edwards. That was on the floor, so that basket won't count. The 4th personal foul on Thomas Edwards. So worried about the 3-point shot that he took the foul.
Yeah, as we talked about earlier on in the second half, though, he is that ultimate team player, and I think that is a good foul to take them not in the bonus. And it's taken the ball out of the hands of the most effective scorer for the Leicester Riders.
Lowell trying to get away from Smith, finds Bowman underneath, and gets his own rebound. He's trying to go back up with it. He's surrounded by Flyers, and there's a whistle in there somewhere.
Yeah, you can see Blake getting frustrated with himself now. He missed a couple of easy ones in the first half. He missed another one there. You know, those are the plays that you expect him to finish on the inside with his athletic capability. But it was a great job staying with it, and the hustle and the determination finally got the foul out of it.
Well, Bowman makes both from the free throw line. The gap between the teams is down to 1. Inside the last 45 seconds of this third quarter, that's definitely gone Bristol's way. Can they take the lead into the fourth? Here's Smith along the baseline, and he's fouled by Adowu.
Be interested to see that one again. You know, it's quite a physical game tonight, Dan, but I'm not really sure what, there's obviously a bit of contact on the body, but considering what we've seen throughout the game.
Yeah, that was at the lower end of the physicality that we've seen here today. Smith from the free throw line.
Just see with Coach Paternoster on the sideline there telling everyone to box out. You can see that he knows that's a key to the game now, and their ability to win this game is, controlling that, or getting better control of that defensive rebound situation.
Well, it's one thing to know it against Bristol, it's another thing to do it. Washington is eventually fouled by Salmon, so I just wonder whether the first one, wherever he was like, oh, I missed one there, and then any minor contact after that was going to be called. They are over the limit for the quarter, Bristol, so Washington will go to the free throw line.
And in the same way that I thought Raphael Thomas-Head was fouled before was smart, that's not the best play to end the quarter on, especially putting one of the...
he jinxed him there, he didn't even get the words out.
Yeah, it's just the thought process jinxed him. Yeah, one of the best free throw shooters in the league, giving him what should have been 2 easy points.
Oh, he's missed them both now. Well, that is unusual. Shot clock is off, so Bristol trying to run it down. Johnson drives in, gets all the way to the basket and lays it home, and that will do it for a very good third quarter for the Bristol Flyers, led by 16 third quarter points from Trajan Jacob. They've come from behind to take the lead. We'll have the fourth quarter after this break. Well, Dan, you asked me a question earlier about offensive rebounds. Brad Green has got 10 offensive rebounds. That actually equals the Flyers club record in the British Basketball League. Malcolm Delpesh twice got 10. Nobody's got more than that. And in the last 15 years, the most I can find is 14, by the way. So we'll keep an eye on that. Here's Graham Bell. Down to Smith. High arcer and over the top of everything. That was a 10-foot shot from 8 feet.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of those shots today. Touching nothing but...
That's a tough finish from Lowell through the contact.
See those bench players again producing for the Leicester Riders. TJ Lowell saw that impressive dunk in the first half, and now again we see a tough finish on the inside.
And that's strong from Graham Bell. He's got the size mismatch basically on almost anybody he goes against on this Leicester lineup, given the way they... Oh, here's another look at the Lowell score. Just going quick past one man. And a tough finish.
A lot of contact there. But great finish from TJ Lowell.
Broken up by Smith, but Dowi's able to recover. Spinning, getting to the rim and in off the glass.
Smart play, steady play from Samu Duwu there. Not the biggest guy on the court, but a smart finish on the inside, avoiding the contact on that occasion.
Samuels, Smith fighting for position down on the block. Spins back baseline, kicks it out to Lucas late in the shot clock. Gets past his man. Samuels has to fire up the three. And Adowu with a good box out. Lowell draws the defense, kicks out to Holmes. Hits the triple, Leicester back in front. And there's a little bit of chatter between Lowell and Lucas that the referee just needed to deal with.
See those bench players from the Leicester Riders again, giving them that spark they need to get back in this game. TJ Lowell, a couple of great plays, both on the offensive end and defensive end to start this quarter.
Smith, short on his three. Suddenly Leicester getting some defensive rebounds.
Yeah, and we said that at the half. If they can get some stops and get some defensive rebounds and get out and run, that's when they're really dangerous for this Bristol Flyers team.
Adowu's going to fire for three, and he hits the back of the rim.
Your coach Rob, though, you like that shot. That's the advantage that Sam Adowu is going to have against someone like Leslie Smith or Brad Green on the offensive end.
Samuels, it's stolen away by Holmes. He's off and running, and he will jam it home. And Coach Kapoulis is going to call time here because their lead has evaporated with a 9-2 start to the fourth quarter by the Leicester Riders. And again, they're getting the job done right at the beginning of the period.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of their success so far in this period has come from what they've been able to do on the defensive end, whether it's been getting steals like we see there from Holmes, or just good defensive plays and finishing it off with a defensive rebound, which is something they've really struggled with that in this game. But yeah, great finish there from Holmes on the fast break.
Well, you wonder how long Coach Kapoulis will go with Jacob and Green on the bench. They've been their two main protagonists really in this ball game. Jacob obviously in the third quarter with all those points, and Green crashing the glass.
It'll be interesting to see what Coach Rob Paternostro does as well. Obviously, he's having a lot of success with this lineup he's got on the floor at the moment. Hasn't had as much success with his starters today. Bristol and Coach Kapoulis have already had a great game plan for their starters, but the bench players are really picking up the slack and really producing when they need to.
Well, if you look at the plus-minus on the Leicester side of the ball, all the bench players have been on court in the pluses, and only Jaron Holmes of the starters in positive numbers, all of the rest of them in the minuses, which shows you that Leicester have been winning the game with their bench unit.
Yeah, it's just so important as well. We talked about Bristol's injuries at the top of the show and the depth of their team. You know, Leicester's definitely showing now that the depth of their team is definitely here and is definitely able to produce at this level in the British Basketball League.
Lucas, 7 in a row for Leicester. And they get another box out, and that's the thing. As I say, Bristol second last in shooting. If you keep them off the glass, they probably won't make enough shots, but they rebound so well.
Your coach Kapoor, that's probably not the shot you drew up at in the timeout, but
late shot clock here. Holmes has to fire the 3, and it's off the rim. And Johnson with the rebound. I don't think that was the one that Rob Paternostro drew up either. Here's Johnson for 3, and he rattles in the triple, and the scores are level again.
Obviously just finding his feet after coming back from injury, but yeah, great shot there from Johnson. Went under the screen and really took advantage of the fact that, you know, the Leicester players have been doing that a lot, but finally made one in this half.
Not great defense there. Holmes beat his man. There was no help. Graham Bell trying to use his size down on the low block, spinning and finishing off the glass.
And we saw that in the first half, and we see it again here in the second half. He's extremely strong down there on that block. We're taking advantage, full advantage of it on that occasion again.
Lowell kicks out to Bowman. Offensive foul called against Blake Bowman. It's hard to tell from the first angle. Let's have a look.
I mean, I'm not really convinced about that one. It's a bit of a nothing. You know, I think it was a great play at the end of the play there. As we saw Leslie Smith slap the ball away cleanly. I'm not sure that it was an offensive foul, considering, again, the amount of contact and physicality we've seen in this game.
Oh, yeah, it has been a very physical game. But that one at the lower end of the spectrum again. Oh, that pass was slightly off the mark, but Johnson has some room, and he ends up turning it over, does he? That will be a Bristol ball. They've got 5 seconds to work with. Well, he went from looking like he had an open lane to the basket to looking like a turnover.
Should definitely have shot that one, especially having Brad Green on the floor, who's ready there to mop anything up, as we see there.
Well, it wasn't a pass. I think it was a shot, but Green couldn't quite convert. Probably should have from there. Dowu spinning. Green matching him that time.
Yeah, that's not where Sam Aduwa is going to get an advantage against Brad Green. You know, trying to back him down and use, you know, he's not stronger than Brad Green, he's not bigger than Brad Green, so, you know, he's got to really stretch that floor and really try and use his speed and agility to beat Brad Green, as Brad Green bullies him on the inside there.
Oh, yeah, it certainly is an advantage to Green, though, down in that sort of play. Bristol back in front. Lowell almost lost it. Holmes runs into Keedy Johnson, and that will be a charging foul, and suddenly the momentum shifting back the way of Bristol. They lead by 2. There's 4.5 to go in this one. Timeout call. We'll be right back.
Our winner receiving £480. That's 480. Yellow ticket, or yellow and white ticket, 691. That's 691 to 695. 691 to 695. The yellow and white ticket, you have won £480. Make sure you go see Mr. 50/50 to collect your prize.
Welcome back to Leicester. Still no Trajan Jacob on the floor for the Flyers after that sensational third quarter. Can't be too long now before we see him back out on court. But the Flyers have the lead. That's the important thing from their perspective with 4.5 minutes to play. Here's Jackson. Johnson, Green wants it down low, gets it. Takes the mid-range and knocks it down.
Just doing about everything right now down on the floor. Brad Green, face-up jumper right on the, and, you know, Sammy do a good defense, but offense was even better.
Down low to Allen, spinning into a double team. Thomas takes the three. That's a tough shot. Long rebound comes out to Holmes, though. Holmes floats it up. Maybe should have recycled that one back out.
Yeah, not great shots for the Leicester Riders. Either Thomas's or Holmes' shot were the best shots or the highest percentage shots they could have got there, I think. You know, Thomas should have probably swung the ball to McKenzie, who was wide open on the wing.
Johnson, big shot for three at the top. Well, he's back from injury and he's letting everybody know about it.
Yeah, it's 2 threes now for him in this quarter. It's great to see him back on the floor and contributing for the Bristol Flyers team.
9 straight points for the Flyers, almost a turnover there. And that, if it's on Thomas Edwards, is going to be his 5th foul. It is Ralph Thomas Edwards who was called for that, and he is done for the day.
You know, as you say, though, his stat line is not impressive, but you look at that plus-minus, Dan, as you mentioned, you know, plus 11 for his team. He's the ultimate team player, you know, and someone that Coach Kaputas trusts, you know, at any point in the game. Really contributed to his team, putting his team in the position they are at the moment.
McKenzie's going to take the three. Must make, does make. Kimball McKenzie, a captain shot.
Yeah, a lot of experience, a lot of veteran leadership there in that shot right there. And we talked about him at the top of the show, and maybe it's Kimball's time to shine right now at the end of this game.
Johnson under pressure, and he drops it in. It's certainly his time to shine.
Lefty floater there from Johnson. Very, very tough shot there.
It's going to be a foul on Lucas. Just a little too aggressive defensively on McKenzie. Didn't want him to get the ball. Haven't seen him just make a three. McKenzie gets it from the elbow, and he hits again.
He does like this end of the game. You know, he likes the pressure. He likes what this moment means for his team. You know, he likes taking that responsibility on and taking big shots.
They need a stop now, though, Leicester, to go with that score. They can't keep trading baskets. Johnson almost loses it. It's kept in play. 6 on the shot clock. Jackson for 3. Rattles out. It's up in the air, and it comes all the way to Green. And he set a new Flyers record for offensive rebounds, and he gets another with the tip in.
If he could be at half court and get an offensive rebound at this rate. Unbelievable work from Brad Green.
Thomas for 3. That doesn't go, but Adowu gets him a new 14. Well, somehow Johnson's come away with it. Dishes it off, and Lucas lays it in, and could that be it now for the Flyers? They have an 8-point lead with just over 100 seconds to go. Leicester must score here. Here's Adowu, and that will count, and it'll be a bonus free throw for Adowu.
Tough finish from Sam Adowu there.
He's back to the basket. Just a little wait while the perspiration is wiped up off the floor. So with some time to think about this free throw, Leicester really need it.
I think we're going to have to start. I don't know if we'll see a timeout here from Coach Kaputas. He can advance the ball, obviously, but if not, I think we might see a bit of full court pressure from the Leicester Riders to try and get this ball back.
Well, he converts the three-point play. It is some full court from Leicester. Zone press. And they get it over the halfway line without too many worries. Johnson, who's come up big in the fourth.
With Bristol, you don't want to be too passive here. You still want to keep aggressive as we see Lucas get all the way to the ring there.
There's Green again. Oh, and he somehow gets it in off the top of the backboard. Incredible finish from Brad Green.
I mean, what hands from the big man. Holding off his defender is literally hanging off the other arm as he catches it with his left hand and then somehow finishes it off the top of the backboard.
Oh, how he got that to go, not quite sure. 13 offensive rebounds, I was saying earlier, the most in the last 15 years, 14 Matchneck and Damon Watt, former Cheshire and London players. The referee's just having a conversation now.
I'm not sure if the foul's going to be on the floor.
The foul is on the floor, so that basket won't count. All that spectacular play, and it gets him nothing.
Still, another offensive rebound for Brad Green, though. I'm not sure how many he's on now. I've lost count.
13, I believe. Gives Leicester a chance for the stop, although they commit a foul. They've still got one to give, so all that does is give Bristol another 7 seconds on the shot clock that they can tick off. Lucas blocked by Dowu. Leicester get the stop they desperately needed. And Jackson into the second row of the seats there.
Did well not to spill that man's beer in the front row.
Well, Leicester must score here, down 5. It's into McKenzie. It's back to Law. Oh, he wasn't in court. Law wasn't in court, so that is a costly turnover for Leicester.
Like to see that one again. I don't know if we've got another camera angle on that one, but yeah, terrible turnover for the Leicester Riders.
Well, it was a good pass because he did have the lane to the basket, but he hadn't re-established himself in the court. So Bristol running the clock again. A score here will surely ice it. It's out to Green for 3, and he misses it, and that will be, I think it's a Leicester ball. No, he pointed at Johnson as if to say it came off you.
I'm not sure about that one.
But it's going to be...
I think Johnson initially touched it after he jumped from being out of bounds, but we'll have to again watch it back again on the replay.
Well, a timeout is called. There's 2.7 on the shot clock in all of that. And, well, Bristol are basically one score away from winning this game, barring anything crazy.
I mean, we have seen crazy
We have seen crazy in recent weeks, to be fair. So we've seen it a few times, but Paternoster trying to get his team to somehow get a stop here and get a quick score going the other way. And then they're probably going to have to go into foul mode. Yeah, got to get a stop right here, he just said. And the rebound.
Just 2 seconds on the shot clock for Bristol Flyers, though.
2.7.
2.7.
So there's enough time for a pass or a dribble or handoff, something like that. Doesn't have to be an immediate shot.
But as you said, it's important, even if they get a bad shot up, still that danger of Brad Green on the offensive glass trying to get another one for his team.
Here they come then. Let's see what Coach Kapoulis has got up his sleeve here. Jackson to inbound. It's a tough pass in the corner to Johnson. Oh, and it's tipped down. There's Green again. Allen got a hand on it, and Green gets his 14th offensive rebound of the game. Well, he said it in the timeout. We've got to get the rebound, and they didn't get the rebound. And Brad Green has almost certainly made them pay here.
I mean, that's been the difference. The offensive rebounding of Brad Green in this game has really basically put Bristol on the verge of winning this game.
Oh, he's missed the first free throw. Keeps the window of opportunity for Leicester open, because they will only be 6 points down if this one goes in. Well, it's all going on here. People swapping sides and changing over. They want to make sure they're boxing out. This could go on forever. And Johnson's being told he has to stay there because the Leicester players are just going to follow him. And the referee said, no, we've had enough of this. They've gone from one side to the other. So they want Adowu to box out Graham Bell. It doesn't matter as Green makes the free throw. Well, Leicester need a quick three here. McKenzie driving. He's going to go for two. He might get three the old-fashioned way. And he is fouled, so he will go to the line.
A good result there from Kimmel McKenzie. 2, 3, 4 seconds taken off the clock only. He's going to stop the clock again to get, you know, what you think is 2 points for Leicester Riders here.
Well, he is an excellent free throw shooter. He's 85% this season, which is actually down on his career average. You'd love to be an 85% shooter on a bad day, wouldn't you? Mind you, you were a pretty good foul shooter, Dan.
Yeah, I did like my foul shots being a big man. It was important, you know, to be able to punish the fouls that you received on the offensive end. So always took pride in that.
Kenzie makes both. So Leicester, they want to steal, if not a quick foul or an 8-second violation. They might force something here. Got to get it over. Now it's over. They have to scramble and foul. And Law gets there. Well, that's almost the worst outcome for Leicester, isn't it? You get the excitement. Oh, we could turn this over. We could get an 8-second. And then when you don't, you end up losing 10 seconds out of the game.
Yeah, it was a bit disappointing there. I think they had a really good trap on Trajan Lucas in the corner there, but he was able to somehow to get out of it. Bristol just found a way to win this game. You know, Johnson's had a huge fourth quarter in the same way Trajan Jacob had a huge third quarter, and it's really made the difference for the Bristol Flyers.
Well, he's an 83% shooter on the season. And he makes both of those. And Rob Paternoster is going to call a timeout. This will be so that he can advance the ball and run up a play. But basically, they need a three. It's the Flyers fans who are the happier right now, that's for sure, with 18.6 seconds to go. But Leicester need a quick three out of here. They have got enough three-point shooters. McKenzie, Allen, of course, a capable three-point shooter. Pretty much everybody they put out on the floor will be able to shoot it, but it has to go in.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see Connor Washington come out as well. Obviously, as we said before, one of the best three-point shooters in the history of our league. As you see in there, interesting here, see the assistant coach drawing up a special play at the end of the game. It's great to see Rob Paternoster having that trust and belief in his staff. I think they're going to run a similar play as that we saw Bristol run when they had 2.7 seconds left on the shot clock.
Yeah.
Where they're going to look for that opposite corner three-point shot for Teddy Allen. You know, we'll see if they're able to get the ball there, because as you said, it's not an easy pass to make.
No. Well, they quite often run a double stagger screen with McKenzie coming off it, but presumably, if I know that, Bristol will know that. Don't forget, coming up tomorrow, 2 games. The Northwest Derby at 7:30. The Sky Sports game is 2 versus 1. Law breaks away. They get the shot in the corner they wanted. Allen can't make it, and that will do it. Bristol Flyers with the rebound, and they will dribble it out unless Leicester foul them. Oh, it's not loose, but it's out of bounds for a Flyers ball. Well, it was a hard-fought game for the Bristol Flyers, but as you say, it was Jacob in the third, and it was Johnson in the fourth and Green all the way through. And the Bristol Flyers have come on the road and claimed an important win here.
Yeah, huge win for Bristol, as you said. Not been in the best run of form recently. Slowly and surely getting their players back healthy, and you can see that tonight, the performance they put on and the performance, especially Johnson in the fourth quarter, one of those injured players, was able to show that, how important he is for this Bristol Flyers team.
And once again, as it always is with the Flyers, offensive rebounding being the key. 18 of them, 16 second chance points. None more so than this man who set a club record for offensive rebounds with 14 of them in total. And that is the most in the British Basketball League. For 7 years, he had 18 points, 15 rebounds and 5 assists as well, Dan.
Yeah, I mean, he had a great game. I mean, just, big guy, obviously was extremely important inside the paint for the Flyers, but I mean, on the defensive end, on the offensive end, especially on the offensive glass, it was just unstoppable, really, throughout the game.
Well, this is a look back at some of his plays. He was 9 of 20 shooting. It felt like every time he missed, though, he got his own rebound and put it back in.
Yeah, you can say it's 9 of 20, or maybe some of those assists were to himself, He definitely made the most of his big body and putting himself in the right position time after time today. As you see here, this was one of the most impressive plays, even though it didn't count. The hands this guy has for someone of that size, being able to catch a lot of the passes that some of these guards throw at him is really impressive.
And Johnson down the stretch was big for them as well.
Yeah, Johnson, as we said, Johnson was really big for them in the fourth quarter. Really, when they needed to, he got important scores for them. We said Trajan Jacob in the third quarter really got them back in this game and gave them that spark that he can give them off the bench.
Well, 18 points for Jacob, 18 points off 7 shots. And really, without that spell in the third quarter, this game might have got away from them. We didn't really see him after that. We didn't really see much of him before that. But that one little spell that he had was vitally important for the team.
Yeah, we said at the top of the show that he can be the X factor for the Bristol Flyers. He can be that difference maker coming off the bench. And, as we said, he's always going to shoot the ball, even though in the first half, as you said, he only shot 2 shots. But we're used to seeing him putting a lot of shots up and, on occasions, making a lot of threes and a lot of shots to go with that.
Well, we've got our player of the game with us now. Brad Green, 19 points, 17 rebounds, 14 offensive rebounds. You set a club record for the offensive glass. You were relentless going after that tonight, Brad.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those things we had to fight. We had to try to end 2023 on a high note. So it's one of those things we all had to come out and fight, and I'm glad we got it.
And it's been difficult for you guys with men down in recent weeks. You must have been delighted to see Lucas back last week, Johnson back this week.
Yeah, no, it's huge having them back. They're having a huge impact right away, coming back from injury. So we can only hope Tevin's coming back soon too, and we'll have a full roster and we'll be ready to fight.
And that's the thing, you've had a difficult schedule with all of the European games as well as the domestic games. Getting through that now, important you turn this into a bit of momentum and get some wins on the board.
Absolutely. I mean, this shows us how resilient we all are, having those European games, having these games, being able to grind this one out to the end. So hopefully we can keep the momentum.
Well, an excellent performance from you, Brad. Congratulations on a good win.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Well, he was sensational. Let's have a look at the numbers in the game. And while the rebounds kind of masked the fact that Bristol got 18 offensive rebounds, 16 second chance points, and that was the thing, the relentlessness. And the other key, I thought, Dan, 11 turnovers. I think they were 9 at halftime. They took care of the ball better in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, if we were able to compare these stats to the first half stats, we see obviously the 5 threes in the second half, the 2 turnovers only in the second half. Hugely important for the Bristol Flyers to come out with a victory tonight.
And they also made a few threes in the second half, which certainly helped them. Well, I think we can talk now to the Bristol coach, Andreas Kapoulas. Andreas, a couple of monster performances. Brad Green, first of all, 14 offensive rebounds. Huge for you guys.
I thought he had a great second half. He rebounded the ball really well. He was a presence. He was assertive, and that's why we were looking for him. But as you said, there were some other guys. I felt in the first half we were a bit tentative. In the second half, we were able to get the ball to TJ. He made some big shots for us. We looked after the ball. We didn't turn it over as well. I think we only finished with about 11 turnovers at the end. And then Keedy Johnson, I mean, you asked me before the game how important it is to have him. I mean, it's great to have him back.
Yeah, I was going to get into that. Jacob in the third quarter, his explosion got you in the lead, and down the stretch, Keedy Johnson with some big shots for you.
Yeah, both guys were huge. I think for us, it's been difficult with the injuries and everything that has been going on. It's great to get guys on the floor. I thought our guys locked in and executed very well on the offensive end, and we found their weak spots.
And important now for you to build on this win and take some momentum into the trophy campaign in January.
For sure. We're going to enjoy this one. Obviously, Leicester has been playing well. They've won the last 2 games, and they've only lost to London here in Cheshire. So it's a tough place to come and win. So we're going to enjoy this one, get some rest, and certainly it's a great way to finish a tough stretch to the end of the year.
Congratulations on the win, Andreas.
Thank you very much.
Well, he will be delighted and he will enjoy it, and why not? Because it was a hard-fought game for them. It didn't always go their way, but these are the ones that coaches enjoy the most, where you just find a way to guts it out.
Yeah, definitely. I think we can just, define this game as a very Bristol game. They managed to hang around for most of the game. Didn't play great basketball, but they were always there or thereabouts, 3, 4, 5 points down. But then when it came to it, when they needed to make a shot, Trajan Jacob came up with a few shots in the third quarter. Johnson came up with shots in the fourth quarter. That's a very Bristol style of play.
That is, and that's what they have. We were even talking about it off air at halftime. Is they are one of those games that can lull you into their style of the game, and then bang, 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 they have an explosive guy. Today it was Jacob in the third. It was Johnson in the fourth, but Ollison, who's out injured, has also done that before, and they can just take it away from you down the stretch.
Yeah, that's definitely. I mean, we talk about teams in this league who have a very defined style of play. We look at Leicester over the recent years with the team they had, and they had a style of play that you knew that was Leicester Riders basketball. And Bristol Flyers basketball is definitely what we saw tonight.
And do you think Leicester will look back and think, actually, in that first half, when we were on top, when we were making threes and they weren't, we didn't really take full advantage. We probably should have had a bigger lead at halftime to defend.
Yeah, I think they'll definitely look back at this game and analyse it and look at where they went wrong. I think the big thing for Leicester as well was the efficiency of the different lineups they had on the floor at certain times. We talked a lot about the bench for them during the game, but their starters weren't producing on the way that we expected to today.
Well, Bristol Flyers are going back in the right direction and almost back to full health. Just one guy out injured now, and when they've got all of their talent on the floor, they will take some beating, no doubt about it. And they've come here, and as Andreas said, there's not many teams win here. Cheshire did it on the opening day. London, the only other team before Bristol today to win here at the Morningside Arena. It's a difficult place to go.
Yeah, it's a difficult place every year in the British Basketball League. Not many teams win in Leicester. So as I said, I think they should really enjoy this one going into the new year.
Well, here's the other result tonight. Newcastle with a victory over Plymouth City Patriots by 13 points. We've got 2 games tomorrow. The Northwest Derby is on the British Basketball League YouTube channel at 7:30. Cheshire against Manchester. And then 7:30 on Sky Sports with the 7:45 tip-off, Caledonia against London. And then we've got 2 games on Saturday and games on both New Year's Eve and New Year's Day as well for you to enjoy. Let's have a look at the standings and what a boost that is for the Bristol Flyers, rising 2 places up to 4th in the standings now. Leicester staying in 7th but dropping to an 11th defeat of the season, and it really was a hard-fought physical game. Bristol Flyers doing what they're doing, grinding teams down.
Yeah, as we said, very, very Bristol win. We used to seeing Bristol play like that. They always have a dominant big man on the inside who's capable of rebounding the ball very well, and those explosive scorers on the outside. It'll be disappointing for Leicester, but Bristol should be over the moon with that victory.
I'm sure they will. Don't forget to join us for the game on Sky Sports tomorrow. It's the top 2 going head-to-head. 7:30 on air for that one, with a 7:45 tip-off for that. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you again soon. Goodbye.